Happy New Year, folks. Happy New Year. Of course, will it be another 12 months of misery for Blackburn Rovers, or will it be 12 months of joy? Well, it's all going to kick off at St Andrews up against Birmingham, and we'll talk about that next. Right, folks, back once again with another match preview. This I'm looking forward to. Blackburn Rovers up against Birmingham City, and of course St Andrews, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, stop what you're doing, swallow what you're doing, put out those fireworks, and of course smash your subscribe button and keep your bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, whoa, football related, and one Roski. Of course, we're back from on the road. We've been on the road past couple of days, but we're here. We made it safe and sound despite some really, really bleak and miserable conditions. But we made it in time for this game, and I'm looking forward to kicking off the brand new era, or brand new season, or brand new year, with a big fat W. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Of course, someone a big shout out, of course, to the patrons, boys and girls. That's right, get in there, plug it in your veins. We managed to get to 25 patrons. As Blue Orbit, and of course the D-Man did sign over the dotted line, becoming the latest members of the Brotherhood. So major signings for Blackburn Rovers. So I do appreciate the support, guys. I really do. And again, without those guys, it does make it hard to get the motivation to kick on forward and produce the content that we do right here at Blackburn Rovers. But anyway, enough about that. But I just want a big shout out to those guys. There's a link down below if you want to join those guys and make it 26 and kick it on further into 2021. So let's get into it. Of course, take a look at the next game, which is the first game of 2021 for both Birmingham City and Blackburn Rovers, taking place right here at St Andrews. That's right, goodness gracious me, look at it, put it in your veins, boys, put it in your veins. Of course, Birmingham coming into this not in the best bit of form, Rovers coming into this also in pretty shitty form, but of course, well, hopefully one of us will start the season off with the campaign. In fact, turn the clock back 12 months. This would be, I think we did play them around about this time last season. It was the third game in quick succession. We played them at, I think at Ewood, then we played them in at St Andrews, then we played them in the FA Cup. It was the Birmingham City overload. But now, of course, we're both refreshed. Of course, the game will take place right here, of course, at the heart of England in Birmingham, baby. That's right, St Andrews, the venue. Of course, taking on Blackburn Rovers. Of course, pulling the strings these days, Anka Karanka. Of course, up against the gaffer, Tony Mowbray. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape here between the two sides. Of course, on average, the 22 games played by both Birmingham and Blackburn Rovers this season, Rovers still banging in about 2 goals a game. Birmingham just the 1. As you can see, their shots on average, Rovers banging in about 15 compared to Birmingham City's 10. We also pick up around about two yellow cards to their 1. On average, we pick up about 5 corners to their 4. They're more likely to get a foul in with about 15 to our 12 on average, and they're also better in the air. So, of course, set pieces, corners are not our speciality anyway, so we'll avoid that. But on the flip side, we've got to keep an eye out for Birmingham with their set piece bits of play. Possession wise, that's a Rovers speciality, 56% on average compared to 44 for Birmingham. Pass success rate also favours Rovers with an 80% success rate with the passing compared to 66 for Birmingham. That's both home and away. If you want to take a look at the home versus away, I think Birmingham here again on average, the 11 games they've played at home, still chipping in about 1 goal per game. Rovers still 2. Again, we're still banging about 17 shots per match as well compared to the 11 for Birmingham at St Andrews. And as you can see, some of the key figures there. 60% error success rate once again for Birmingham, 53 for us. Possession wise, there's a little more evenly spread with 55% possession for us, 47 for them. Pass success rate is also a little bit more favourable for us with 81% compared to the 65, and some other stats and figures there for you. That's of course just the tail of the tape. The game. Well, we'll talk about the game in a minute, but of course, goals per game. Of course, Rovers scoring in total 36 goals this campaign, 17 for Birmingham, 26 goals coming through open play for Rovers, 8 for Birmingham City, the hosts. Of course, set pieces is their speciality, so we've got to keep those corners and the free kicks to a minimum. They've scored 7 from set pieces. We have just got 3. Why are we so shockingly bad at corners and set pieces? I don't know. Counter-attacks, that's a speciality as well, with 4 breakaway goals, of course, you know, with the likes of Elliott, of course, Berriton now, of course, then Armstrong, tripped in with a fair few goals this season. Penalties, though, 3 for Rovers, 2 for Birmingham, and as you can see down there, shots per game, 15.4 for Rovers, on average, 10.2 for Birmingham City, and a conversion rate of 10% compared to their 7% as well, so that's pretty good. And again, what else do we have on this one? Goals per game. I think this is conceded. Both teams conceding 27 goals this campaign, 13 through open play for Birmingham, 19 from us, 8 from set pieces, so that maybe is a weakness for them. 4 for Rovers, 1 counter-attack. We've conceded 5 penalties for them, 2 for us, and 1 big fat goal apiece. apiece. So yes, it could be a wide open goal game at the back there, but hopefully it's going to be one that goes in favour of Rovers, of course. Let's take a look at some of the other key figures coming into this. Of course, possession-wise, Birmingham occupy 43% of their possession within the middle third, 29% going forward, 28% defending. As for Rovers, 42% in the middle, 29 going forward, and 29 also going back. Kicking on forward then, the attacking avenues, 38% coming down the right-hand side and left for Birmingham, 23% down the middle. As for Rovers, we prefer the right. Of course, the Nyambi effect there, 37% down the left if it's, of course, the Bell factor, the Barry Douglas effect, of course. Who else plays down the left? Brereton also as well. So we should see those numbers increase on the left, 25% down the middle as well. Kicking on forward then, shots, 63% down the middle for both sides. In fact, it's pretty much a carbon copy. They've actually got 21% going down the right. We've got 20% down the left, 17% down the right. It's kind of even sort of Stevens if you take a look at the shot directions. As for distance, 59% of all their shots, Birmingham's are coming within the 18-yard box, 6% in the scrappy 6-yard area, and 35% long-range bad balls. As for Rovers, a couple more percentage numbers for the outside long-range bad balls, 58% in the middle, and 4% is the old Bradley Dacarino area, which again, like the Brereton effect on the left-hand side, we should see those numbers increase as the season comes to fruition with those guys in contention. Take a look at the stats and figures then coming at you, of course. The key men for Birmingham City, Duke, Lucas Chicago, that's of course ex-Dingle, scoring a couple of goals so far. Harley Dean as well. Scotty Hogan and Gardner has also got a couple of goals this season. Sunjic is your danger man, of course, likely to pick up a yellow. He's got 6 so far, 4 for Dean, 4 for Clayton, and 3 for Colin. And of course, quite a few red cards to boot. 3 red cards. Dean, Clayton, and Pedersen got themselves a red card. I think Pedersen should be back. I think he might have missed the last game. I don't know. As for over 16 goals for Armstrong, which is good. Gallagher's got himself 4. Elliott's got 4, and Bradley Johnson has got 3. That is one of our specialities, but of course, we've also prone to losing and leaking some goals. Of course, are the most likely men to get in the book. Of course, Bradley Johnson's got himself 6 yellows, as has Lenihan. Rothwell 4, and Douglas has got 3. And of course, the one and only red card so far is Darragh Lenihan. Kicking off forward, let's take a look at the teams then. Of course, heading into this bad boy, we have, of course, this is the likely line with the 4-2-3-1. We've got Neil Etheridge between the sticks as a good goalkeeper, of course, picked up from Cardiff. Is it a permanent deal? I don't know. Pedersen on the left, if he's, of course, free from a suspension. Dean, Roberts, and Colin make up a strong back four. It's probably, Pedersen and Colin have been pretty tidy fullbacks for Birmingham over the years. Gardner and Sunjic in the middle of the field there. Halovic, of course, brought in from, looks like AC Milan. He's a bit of a key player. Of course, Sanchez and Bella and Hogan, of course, up top. He did have a good goal-scoring campaign last season, the back end of last season, which pretty much kept them moving in the right direction, Birmingham. But Lucas Chikowicz also could come off the bench. He's, of course, an opposing factor. He's scored a few goals against us in the time. Meanwhile, Rovers coming to this with a likely lineup like this. That's what I've gone for anyway. I've got Kaminsky between sticks, Bell at left back. I've gone Buckley at right back. I think maybe Nyambi picked up a niggle, but we may see him come back. Lenihan Johnson, of course, Ayala picked up an injury. Scotty Wharton's out. Derek Williams long-term absentee. So that's probably a back four. And I've gone with Rothwell, Holtby, and Davenport in midfield, of course. We haven't seen him start a game. Tribal picked up an injury, of course, early doors in the last game. And realistically, you're going to need a defensive sort of player in there. And Dak doesn't fit that role. And I don't think Dak's fully fit just yet. Elliott up top alongside Brereton and Armstrong down the middle. Of course, heading into this then, let's take a look at this one then, shall we? Of course, Birmingham, after this match, they've got a fruity FA Cup match up against Manchester City at the Etihad. Then they'll take on Middlesbrough, of course, down Riverside. Then it's back at home, of course, taking on Preston North End and Wickham towards the back end of the back end of these 5 games. And then we'll wrap it up at home, but they'll be playing Coventry City, who will also technically be at home as they lock horns at St Andrews for the second time. Rovers, though, will exit this game into the next one up against Doncaster Rovers for the second time this season. First in the Caterpillar Cup, this time in the FA Cup. If it goes ahead, rumour has it Doncaster might be having a bit of a COVID issue and they may have to postpone this game. Kicking off forward, though, Rovers will take on Stoke, so it might end up being a bit of a break for Rovers, so maybe get some of the likes of Lewis Travis back. Stoke back at Ewood Park. Then it's Swansea, so 2 tricky home games, and hopefully we can get some points out of that. Then it's back over to the northeast, taking on Middlesbrough, and of course then we do go against Luton Town in another hotly anticipated match for Blackburn Rovers. Heading out of this, of course, the form for both of these two sides, Birmingham coming to this, not the best bit of form for them, without a win in at least 5. They do come in the back of this, playing Derby last round at their own place, which I thought was going to cost Karanka his job, but he remains in place. Maybe if a Rovers victory could send them over the line and maybe get the boot themselves. Prior to that, though, they did draw with Forest 0-0. They also lost to Middlesbrough 4-1 at St Andrews, so back-to-back heavy defeats for them at St Andrews. They also took on Cardiff and they narrowly lost. They also lost to Watford, a very, very narrowly game, of course, back in the midway through the month of December. Rovers, though, coming to the back of this, also in pretty shitty form, just 1 win in the past 5 for them, beating Rotherham back in the 16th of December. Prior to that, 3 games without a win, losing to Huddersfield, losing to Stoke, and picking up a narrow draw against Sheffield Wednesday. Not good form for either of these two sides. Let's take a closer look at the match then. Of course, heading out of this, let's take a closer look. Sorry, I've got to look at the home versus away form here. Birmingham's home form is pretty shitty, actually losing 5 of the past 6. The only positive is a draw against Birmingham. Meanwhile, Rovers 3 defeats on the spin, not very, very good for them either. Of course, last time their positive result was against Preston in a 3-0 win for them. So meanwhile, Tony Mowbray's record against Karanka is not the greatest. They've only managed against each other just the one time. According to my knowledge, they drew that game, so it was a draw piece. Meanwhile, Tony Mowbray's record against Birmingham in all competitions, all clubs, he's managed against them 11 times, winning just once, losing 6 times and drawing 4. So it's not great. But the overall record between Blackburn Rovers and Birmingham is a little bit more sort of level playing field. Of course, Rovers and Birmingham City playing against each other. According to my knowledge, they played against each other how many times? According to my brain, it's a cool 129 times. 48 wins for Birmingham, 47 wins for Rovers, 34 draws, of course. But the last 6 is 2 wins for Birmingham and nothing for Blackburn Rovers, and 4 draws. That's both home and away. Of course, Birmingham winning last time around at St Andrews 2-1. Crowley and Baylor on the score sheet. Adam Armstrong getting the consolation goal from the penalty spot, but too little, too late. And they got a man sent off. So that was in the FA Cup. They also played each other in the league. It was a 1-0 win for Birmingham with Maxine Colin from the penalty spot, or from the 1-0 goal there. Of course, the last 6 over at St Andrews in all competitions, pretty much as you were, really. Nothing for Blackburn Rovers at all. So Birmingham are a very, very sticky wicket for us. We need to change that as soon as we can, really. Kicking off for us, take a look at the home and the form table for both Birmingham and, of course, Blackburn Rovers. Birmingham come into this, of course, 23rd in the form table. Rovers are in 21st, so 2 teams absolutely clueless at the moment, picking up 4 points out of possible 18. So not very good promotion form, of course. It's pretty much relegation form if you want to take a look at it. Take a look at the home form then. We'll take a look at Birmingham's home form. They're actually bottom, which is good for us. Rovers' home form is 6, which is good, but we're not playing at home, so guess what? Not really concerned about that either. Kicking off forward to the away form for Rovers. We are in 15th. That is a bit shady and maybe give Birmingham a bit of hope. Their away form is better. 6 in the form table for them as they try to climb the table and make things tick for them. Kicking off forward then, let's take a look at what else. These are the players that play for both Blackburn Rovers and, of course, Birmingham City. Pick your favourites out of there. Matthew Derbyshire's in there, of course. David Dunn, he did the honours as well. Scotty Dan, of course. Paul Caddis, of course, memorable for Birmingham. Who else do we have there? Amari Bell, of course. The Amari Bell derby, of course. David Bentley, of course, big time for us. Not too good for Birmingham. Of course, Sam Gallagher derby. Goodness gracious me. But anyway, that's just a little bit what I have to say about the match. What about the cat? Digicast. What do you think is going to happen between Birmingham and Blackburn Rovers at St Andrews on the 2nd of Jan? Social media then, let's take a little look at it, shall we? Of course, JPT Swindon kicked us all off, said this, well, where do we even start? Birmingham took a thumping midweek off Derby and they are amidst a poor run with precious few goals. Surely even our defence will not crumble again. Starting 11, I bring in Dolan, at least mix it up on the right, and swap Davenport for Johnson to give him a rest. Looked off the base against Huddersfield. Both managers under real pressure. I don't think we're under pressure. ALCD said, Mowbray under pressure from fans, fuming behind the scenes, might as well curse the weather for all the difference it makes. Under no pressure from those holding his future in their hands. Roger B said, I picked the entire back 4 from the under-23s. At least they are all used to playing the position and together. Absolutely no stability in the selection process, and with the injuries and more encouragement from Tony's tombola to put square pegs in round holes. Tyrone Shoeless said this, I'm expecting a repeat of the Huddersfield game, both in performance and result. Anything more will be a pleasant surprise. Rigger says, with Mowbray still here, I couldn't give a toss. Big Dog Steele said this, what did he say here? It's difficult to get back to flat. It's difficult to get back to flat track bullying when you're not playing well. No idea. Hopefully we'll win 4-0 and Adam Armstrong scored a hat-trick. I'm optimistically going for a 2-1. We could even very easily lose it too. I have no idea, to be honest. Kicking off further, what do we have to say? We're second coming. We all know the script. Roaring out the stocks at kickoff. Plenty of tippy-tappy possession and appearance of slight goal threat, followed by some backline buffoonery and conceding a ridiculous and shocking goal. This could be, well, this sounds like Rovers. Birmingham, big club, will be smarter from Shrek smash and grab whilst Rovers are disarray with no direction and no plan. Despite Big Tone needing a result, we will capitulate and allow the manager some respite whilst entering New Year on a complete downer for the Rovers fans. I wish it wasn't so, but we all know we are a soft touch for size, needing a result. Going 2-1 for Birmingham for this one based on the hapless showing at Huddersfield the other night. Taxi for Tony! Rovers fan 99 says, sadly it seems like the season is already over for us. Even if we had a new manager and a couple of players to jump past 8 teams and make up 8 points, as well as getting top 6 form, that will elude us for years. It's such a long shot, never mind us under the current stagnation. God knows what sort of defence we will cobble together under absolutely no circumstances should Bucky play right back. Well, that's me out the window. Would love Dak to start, even Travis, if remotely possible, to Downing, rather than the usual group of midfielders who flattered to deceive. The biggest frustration is that I'm enough of an idiot to inevitably buy another tenner pass to watch it on the odd iFollow. Meanwhile, Chelly Rovers to this, I would drop Elliott and play Dolan on the right, Armstrong up front alongside Brereton on the left, in the front three, Downing midfield with Rothwell and Davenport for me. Defence depends on who's fit. Kaminsky in goal. Kicking on forward, though, we say Gavilos, Somerset, Mowbray without fail comes out with a result every time the heat is firmly on and knives are out. I see this as being no different. Big Club 1, Birmingham, Blackburn Rovers 2, of course. Kicking on further, let's do some other ones here. The Rovers return. This has the feel of a dead rubber game. Lack of enthusiasm all round. It feels like some second round League Cup fixture when you can't even remember which team we're playing. It's not being played at the start of May when we can't really change our league position much. It's on January the 2nd. That's a bit shit all round, isn't it? What about, we'll end it with Doug here. I don't know what he's going to say here. It could be a surprise, could be nasty, it could be, I don't know. It could even be dodgy. No idea which players will be available, as there are plenty of sick notes on the manager's desk. It's becoming increasingly apparent that the formation players' instructions is not working or has been sussed out by our opposition. My humble opinion is that our fullbacks are being pushed too far up the pitch and being told to play as wide as possible without, which is causing chaos at the back when the opposition break out with the ball. At the beginning of the season, we were playing with pace, moving the ball quickly, loads of movement, and dare I say, playing our best football for a long time. Unfortunately, we are now playing slow, over and methodical without flair. What happened to Holtby, Rothwell, and Elliott? They were terrorising teams early in the season, and the use of Gallagher on the wing is infuriating. My thoughts of those players are being asked to forfeit their natural attacking instincts to allow the fullbacks to get forward, which is not working. To be fair, we have had injuries and the timings couldn't have been worse, but selection substitutions have been poor, hard to fathom, bizarre. Anyway, with that off my chest, Happy New Year, and let's hope by some miracle we feel 11 players who can produce a decent performance and a result. Meanwhile, what's been going on elsewhere out in the Championship? Let's take a look at the key teams at the moment, kicking ass and taking names. Of course, Norwich lead the charge possession-wise. 57.9% possession for Norwich. Rovers have 56.3. We're closing in on them, but basically it's all the ball. No clue what we're doing with it at the end of the result. As for the most aggressive, Sheffield Wednesday lead the charge there. I'm quite surprised not to see Birmingham out there with their 3 yellows. Rotherham's up there in second. Derby third. Stoke, QPR make it your power 5. As for aerial duels, 1, Cardiff lead the charge there. Birmingham not too far away either. Preston alongside Blackburn in the top 5 alongside Stoke. Shots per game, Norwich lead the charge there, 16.5 compared to 15.4 for Rovers. Bournemouth and Brentford make up the top 5 alongside Forest, who are climbing the things in that regard, but they're not climbing the table. Pass accuracy though, Norwich lead the charge, Reading second, Rovers third, Brentford fourth, and Huddersfield make up your power 5. As for what's going on elsewhere this weekend at the Championship, of course, one game already completed. That's Sheffield Wednesday against Derby County. Big win for Sheffield Wednesday, managerless Sheffield Wednesday, and that could spring. But I think they're out of the old drop zone. We'll take a look at that in a second. Preston taking on Forest tomorrow or today, depending on when you see this. Wickham against Borough, Millwall against Coventry, Huddersfield against Reading, Rotherham against Cardiff, Swansea against Watford, Norwich against Barnsley, and Stoke against Bournemouth. A couple of cancellations, I think, through the COVID. But of course, the game of the weekend will be at St Andrews as Birmingham take Blackburn Rovers on. This is the table as it stands. Norwich City leads charge, 3 points clear of Brentford. Swansea, of course, not too far away either. Bournemouth, Watford, and Reading make up your top 6. Wickham, Rotherham, Forest going down, and that is on paper. That is the real bloody deal. Sheffield Wednesday have made the climb at long last, at the old drops in. They're out there on goal difference, of course. Birmingham are into 18th, Rovers into 14th. We need a result. Both two sides need a result. Of course, the top goal scorer at the moment is Ivan Toney by 1 goal. Adam Armstrong not too far away either. Lucas Chow, Pookie, Solanke, Woodrow, Moore, Ayew, Sinclair, and Maite make up your top 10. Elise, Mbumbo, Buenda, and Ojo alongside Jensen make up your top 5 assist makers. And that, my friends, is it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that thumbs up. But if you're new, bang your subscribe and keep your bang on today. But all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, whoa, football related, we're going to go here under one roof. I'm back, and I think that's it for my travels for the time being. Of course, we will be having a watch along for this one. Hopefully you'll get to see this preview before the watch along. If not, then who cares, eh? Who bloody cares? But hopefully I'll be there live, and hopefully we're watching Rovers kick off 2021 with a big fat W. And a big shout out, of course, to the patrons. We did have 25. We might have dropped a little bit, but I'm sure they'll come back again. But of course, big shout out to those guys supporting the channel behind the scenes. And also check out the links down below: Twitter, Twitch, Facebook. I'm on all of those. Make sure you follow me on those to keep up to date. Keep me in the conversation. Keep me in the loop of what's going on Rovers-wise. But until then, though, I'll see you all on the watch-along. Rovers against Birmingham St Andrews. Let's get it on!